Hello, this is Ron with Rising Sun Properties. Before we get into today's video, I just want to say thank you guys for liking and following the channel. I really appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of messages and emails from you guys out there saying you really appreciate the way that I'm showing the properties. And thank you for that, because most of the clients we work with aren't able to come to Japan to see the properties in person, right? So they need somebody to be honest and give their honest opinion about what they're seeing, whether it's soft floors or water stains on the ceiling, if the foundation kind of looks wonky or weird, if the place has a weird vibe to it. I always say I don't believe in ghosts, but I can feel some weird stuff sometimes. I will be 100% honest with that. So thank you guys very much. Also, of course, it goes without saying that you need to actually go to the properties. And the second property on today's video is a very good example of that. I will show what the photos look like online and then what the home looks like in person. And the first floor and the second floor are almost two completely different homes. And even I was kind of shocked at what was going on. So the photos don't always portray the home as is. Again, it kind of goes without saying, but it's very important, especially in these old homes. So thank you guys so much for following the channel, and let's get on to today's properties. Today we're going to the Kobe area, and I've said it before, if you're in Japan and you need Shinkansen tickets, don't stand in line. I always see a huge line and there's these empty kiosks just waiting for you. It's in English now. It wasn't when I first moved here, but anyways, just go to the kiosk. It's a lot quicker. This is the first property. It's about a 5 to 7 minute walk from the station, right up that road. It's a bit uphill to get there. Was a nice quiet neighborhood, and the neighbors seemed quite friendly. A couple people were outside and said hello. Always curious as to what I'm doing. Of course, I let them know. It says 12.8 million yen, built in 1992, 3-story 4 SLDK, about 120 square meters. The S stands for storage. This is just out front. You can see it's on the side of this hill, and some steps to get up. Again, nothing too crazy though. There's this nice little bamboo forest on the right side you'll see here. There's the entranceway. Before we get in, there's this little side entranceway onto the patio, and you'll see the room. It's like the kitchen living room area that connects to the patio. It is covered, so good place to hang out your laundry. Nice view, as you can see. There's the bamboo looking back down to the street. Here's the genkan, the entranceway. Oshimashimasu. Had a pretty newer feel. It didn't feel old, didn't have any weird smells. There was some dirt and stuff in the corners, but nobody's lived here for a while, so that's to be expected, but nothing unusual or crazy. This is a Japanese tatami room, and they've got the floor heater there in the middle. And I think up on the left hand side right there, you can see that it's maybe the heating unit that plugs into there. So I think this is storage for the heating unit you can take out and put in the middle of the room for to keep warm during the winter. This does have 2 toilets, which is great. Here on the first floor, this is the first toilet with the sink there. See, it's pretty well renovated, and I don't think there's really anything you need to do. It's pretty much ready to live in. Wallpaper was, maybe something that you'd want to think about changing, but sometimes the Japanese, the style they think doesn't really match what others might think is good looking or cool, but that's just the way it is. Here's the shower with the bathtub, so plenty of room to take a shower. It's kind of you got to get in there and shut the door. It's kind of weird the way it opens, but once you get in there, it should be no problem. There's the stairs to go up, but this actually goes in and back downstairs, and as you can see, the clearance is quite high. Again, I'm about 6 foot tall, 182 centimeters, so the doorways are pretty high. can see the floor has been redone. I think it's just a cover, but it's, you know, had a good feel. Again, right, this kind of wallpaper is what I'm talking about. I guess it looks cool. Nice area and good sized living room and kitchen. It's got 3 gas burners and plenty of storage. There's also a dishwasher. This is all new, just put in less than a year ago, I think in like 6 months maybe, so all of it's good to go, super clean and new. Plenty of storage. And into this little closet underneath the stairs. I couldn't get under the floor there, but storage underneath the stairs. Here's the backyard. Not much to see there, but you can get out. There's a water spigot out on the side, and here's the balcony that we first saw when we came into the property. Back up the stairs to the entrance, and then up the stairs to the 2nd/3rd floor, I guess it really is. Here is the room, some interesting wallpaper there. This has quite a bit of area space, a nice little room. There is storage up top. The ladder was quite steep, but just an area for store boxes and whatnot. Here's the closet. Lots of space here. You can see that's over 2 meters probably tall, so plenty of height and space and storage. Small balcony in this room. It's quite low, so a little bit dangerous. There's no railing there, but not much to do there besides maybe put a couple plants or something. The view out front again. Here's the walk up to that loft area. There's a place to actually hang the ladder on the left side to get it out of the way so it doesn't have to stay permanently there. Up the stairs to the, again, 3rd floor, I guess it still is. Little area to set something there, maybe a cabinet or some kind of storage unit. Look down the stairs. This is a room and it's got this sunroof here, but it's pretty low, so you can use it as a bedroom if you place things correctly and weren't too tall. I mean, if you're 6'3", 6'4", it's not going to work. I thought that opened. It does not open. So definitely can be used as a room and to sleep in, or study room even. Here is what I believe they're calling the storage room. And that doorway there is quite low. Yep, there it is. So that's quite low, but again, it's just a storage room and a hummingbird wallpaper. This goes out the back, and not much there, but it is part of the property. I think that's the property line there. We have to check it to know exactly where the property line is, but this should all be part of this property. Here is the second toilet, which is kind of rare in Japan, so that's very nice to have. And the last room here, the Japanese tatami room with a view outside. Yeah, it's pretty Japanese looking out there with those bamboo trees. You can see that one bamboo kind of leaning on the house, but bamboo's light, so I doubt it did any damage. There's a place for your air con. There are no air cons in this home, so those would need to be installed. Again, we can help facilitate all that, introduce you to somebody that can help arrange those, take care of utilities and all that. On to the next property. It's about a 20-minute drive from that first one, a little bit more out in the countryside. It's always nice to kind of get out and look at things. 13.8 million, built in 1968, 2-story, 7 LDK, 120 square meters, quite far from the station for walking anyway, but it does have parking there. Here's the layout, and here are the photos. This is what I was talking about online. So these photos look pretty good, right? This is the first floor. It's been remodeled. Wow, it looks great. Second floor, okay, there's baby pink. I kind of went a little too fast here scrolling, sorry about that. But you kind of get the idea. It doesn't look horrible up top, but you can see that it's different. Excuse me. So, coming into the property, and when I first came in, I was like, oh, I kind of got excited. I'm like, this is a nice one. Remodeled storage unit in the Genkon, plenty of space for shoes and umbrellas and whatnot. Very high doors, probably over 2 meters. Into the living room, and again the kotatsu, that area that is used for warming up the home in your lap when it's wintertime and cold. Kitchen remodeled, floors are remodeled. Again, I don't think it's real wood, it's just kind of a vinyl covering, but it looks nice. And you see those pillars. I think this was actually probably 3 different rooms, and there were walls there. I don't think those are weight-bearing support beams, so I don't know why they didn't take them out. Maybe they are. Again, I'm not an architect. I don't know. It'd be a lot better if they were out, but not too bad with them there. That's just water there. I don't know why they had that. Just clean drains, maybe. This is the bathroom. That's where the washing machine would go. And into the shower and tub. Again, very nice, renovated. New. It's got the electric fill and reheating options there on the tub, which is fantastic. I always talk about that. I don't think I could live without it. Nice new toilet. And here, kokono something, I don't know. My Japanese is bad, especially the kanji, so let me know if you can read that. I could probably do a translator. This is a bigger 200-volt aircon for a bigger space. I think it was installed in, it says 2015 on it, so usually okay for 10 years, but something you might want to replace. Here I was like, oh, what's the store? Oh, it's nothing. It's actually where the shutters kind of fold into. Here's the back area where the car parking is. That was just some storage underneath there, and I wasn't able to get into it. Here's, I got underneath the floor to look at it, and this is where I was like, ooh, I'm not a professional architect, but that does not look like what you probably want your foundation to look like, crumbled and not very solid. So that's when I started thinking, okay, maybe this house isn't as good as it looks. Nice garden area, outdoor back patio, very Japanese feeling. This is still on the first floor. When you come into the Genkon, the entranceway to the right, aircon installed there. Tatami's new. Here is some storage closet. Again, plenty of storage. I think that's over 2 meters as well. Just a peek outside. Nope, that is the windows where you can't really see outside, but here's the view. Nothing special. Parking lot there. Again, this is on the first floor. I kind of like this room. It was rainy and my camera's a little foggy there, so it opens up. You can see out in that garden area, so cool living room, I guess, is what it would probably be. Yeah, really nice feel and very Japanese. There's a frog out there somewhere. See if you can spot it. It was there. Went by a little too fast. Okay, first floor, not bad. Underneath looked a little weird though, so now up to the second floor. And immediately from the stairs, you can tell it's just kind of a different style. And it has a completely different feel on the second floor. It just feels old and weird and just, I don't know, just not a good feel. And I immediately started feeling the floor out there. Right there. I'm like, okay, this is not what you want. Very soft and just didn't seem too stable of a balcony.
Oh. Yeesh.
Yeah, I almost fell through the, I thought I was going to break through the floor, to be honest. You know, I'm like 210 pounds, so, you know, like 4 kilos. Not the most solid floor. Weird vanity mirror here that doesn't really open. Kind of this old, cheap, you know, faux wood. There is the gas where you can plug in a gas heater, but that looks pretty not usable the way it is, so that would probably need to be maintained. Not really sure where to go. Yeah, and look at this water damage. This is where, you know, things were starting to make a little more sense to me, that this house isn't what it appeared to be online or even from looking at the first floor. I think this is water damage as well. I mean, that's to the outside, just the shutters, so that's not that big of a deal. But when you see that much water damage inside, that is a big red flag. I don't know how much it would be to replace one of these roofs. Probably 2 million, I would guess, something like that, 1.5 to 2 million yen. Have never had a home that needed it. So, you know, if you get a good price, it might be worth it, but...
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting a real-time reaction here. Kind of wondering about the house, taking videos. Here is a second toilet. The toilet looks like it's, you know, been replaced. It's got some baby pink in there. And here's a sink. And a stairway to... I'm not sure. It just blocked off. So that once was a stairway. I mean, it still is. It just doesn't go anywhere. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I guess it's part of the remodel. Very 70s feel in here. Retro. Here's this back storage area. Lots of storage. Again, I didn't get any weird feelings. It just felt old, you know. It just didn't feel right, especially coming from the first floor to this floor. It just didn't match at all. This was just dirty, old, and again, the stairway. I think there was actually a cellar down there, and I'm not going down there. I didn't go down there. I do have a flashlight with me, but anyways, so that's a good example of why you really need to, you know, go look at the properties, and the photos don't do it justice. This was Kobe at sunset. It's a beautiful city, had some good food. So those are 2 properties in the Kobe area. If you have any questions or would like a free consultation, happy to do so. Reach out to me on WhatsApp. You can give me an email and we can set something up online. Thank you very much and have a great day.